You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
I don't think it is very useful to speculate on what God might or might not be able to do. Rather, we should examine what He actually does with the universe we live in.
We are all explorers, driven to know what's over the horizon. The most profound discoveries are not necessarily beyond that next star. They're within us, woven into the threads that bind us.
Hello, beautiful humans. Happy Thursday. Happy Jupiter Day. And happy birthday to Jessica Chastain, The Undertaker, Louis Anderson, Dorothy Height, Jim Parsons. My dog wants to give a birthday shout out. Allison Hannigan. Peyton Manning is an Aries. Who knew? No wonder he has so much motivation. And Lake Bell also popping up on the Google search of who has birthdays today. So if you have a birthday, if you know someone who has a birthday, let me know in the chat so I can give them a shout out as well. So today we have kind of a tense day when it comes to the aspects the planets are making. And we'll talk through what's going on, but specifically all of the connections the moon is making today are pretty tense. So let me know how you're feeling as you're waking up. If you're kind of feeling that uneasiness a little bit, I certainly am, and how this is playing out for you. Yesterday, of course, we had that conjunction between Mercury and Neptune, so some brilliant ideas could have come through, although they might not have made a whole lot of sense yet. And Mercury's influence is really going to stay with us through the end of the week. We're going to be talking about Mercury quite a bit today and tomorrow. So we'll go through exactly what's happening today. Stay till the end because we have a new announcement every day for the astrological new year. So some fun news to share with you. But really today is all about Mercury. Mercury's stealing the show in a big way. Not only because it's making another major connection today, but because it's connecting with the moon as well. So today's affirmation, let me pull it up here for us. Today's affirmation is, I trust divine timing. I trust divine timing. And the reason that came through for me as I was looking into today's transits, writing today's forecast for thespiritualjournalist.com was because you might be having these downloads or these dreams or these ideas coming through. Oh my gosh, can you guys hear my dogs? They have been losing it all morning, seriously barking at nothing. They're clearly feeling the tension as well. But the affirmation of the day is I trust divine timing, because although we might be having these ideas come through, again, it's hard to make sense of them. So really the assignment here from the universe is to allow yourself to dream, allow yourself to flow with whatever's coming through, but don't necessarily take action on it yet. Wait until Mercury moves into Aries at the end of the week. We can expect more clarity and more drive behind those ideas once Mercury moves into Aries. So trust in divine timing. If things aren't exactly falling into place exactly how you thought they would right now, that's just the universe waiting for a better opportunity for you. All right. So let's talk about the major connection that's happening today. I want to put the focus or have you pay attention to Mercury. Good morning, Susan. I'm so happy you're here. Great to see you. All right. So Mercury is in Pisces, as you can see on our chart here. And one moment. What am I doing? Okay. Mercury in Pisces. Mercury is my ruling planet, you guys. So for the past couple weeks, I have seemed a little bit out of it. that's why. Mercury is not super happy in Pisces. So if I said this yesterday, but if you're a Virgo rising or a Gemini rising, these Mercury transits, you're going to feel a little bit more strongly than maybe someone with another rising sign or someone who doesn't have a whole lot of Virgo, Gemini placements in their charts. So Mercury is still in Pisces and you can see it over here. 23 degrees, still within a degree of Neptune as well. So we're still feeling that Mercury-Neptune conjunction, still maybe feeling like our thoughts, our mind is in a little bit of a fog, kind of up in the clouds. Beautiful energy for dreaming. You might have noticed more vivid dreams over the past couple of days. So many people have been telling me they've been having wild dreams, myself included. I've been having some crazy dreams the past couple nights, and we can thank Neptune for that. Neptune is the planet of dreams and illusions. Mercury rules our rational mind. So especially when we're asleep, we can allow our rational mind to really get into that dream state and powerful messages can come through. But again, whatever's coming through might not make a whole lot of sense, and it could take some time. We trust divine timing. Could take some time to really integrate those realizations or make sense of them. So not only is Mercury still very, very close to our friend Neptune, but it's now forming a sextile to the North Node. So the North Node is over here in Taurus, and Mercury moves very quickly. So this exact transit is happening actually at 11:11 a.m., which is really cool. So I would say pay attention when the clock hits 11:11, or if you're on the East Coast, maybe like 2:22. You know, if you happen to see, don't like sit there and wait, like what's going to happen at 11:11. But I would say more people are going to notice 11:11 today because Neptune is also the planet that rules spirituality. So again, insights can come through more easily. Psychic downloads can come through more easily when we're talking about Mercury and Neptune so close to one another. But I don't know about you, but sometimes when something comes through for me, it's like, what? What did you just say? Like, no way. That wasn't meant for me, right? So, you know, or sometimes we're like, that's a random thought, and you just kind of like move on. But you'll notice if there have been random thoughts or random dreams, they could start to come to fruition or have a meaning that makes sense in the next couple weeks. So this sextile between Mercury and the North Node happens when Mercury hits 25 degrees. And you know what I just realized? We're a day behind on this. No wonder Mercury and Neptune are so close to one another. So let's jump ahead. We can see where everything is really at. Okay, so now Mercury is a little closer to that sextile. Let me jump back like 6 hours now. What's happening? Here we are. Okay, we're here. Okay, so Mercury's at 24 degrees, the North Node's at 25 degrees, Mercury pulling away now from that conjunction and coming into that sextile with the North Node. So the North Node represents our purpose, the lessons we're here to learn, while the South Node represents our karmic past, so maybe lessons we mastered in past lives, or energy we came into this world feeling very comfortable in. That's more on a personal level, but when we're talking about the North Node in transits, or the South Node as well, but anytime a planet makes a connection to the North Node, it also makes a connection to the South Node because they're directly opposite one another. Today, though, we're going to talk about mostly the North Node. So the North Node represents these lessons we're here to learn. And transit astrology, it's like the direction we're going. And when Mercury is supporting the North Node or getting support from the North Node, these downloads we've been receiving could be giving us clues about the direction we're supposed to be heading, or about the lessons we're here to learn. Again, it might not make a whole lot of sense yet, but we are able to imagine and dream, and any ideas that are coming through that seem like, ooh, that would be fun, or what a great idea, or what a profound concept, they're here to push us closer to our purpose. Now, when Mercury forms a supportive angle to the North Node, it's harmonizing with the South Node. So we're also able to take all the lessons we've already learned, this energy we're very comfortable in, and use it to push us towards our purpose. It's really a nice angle that Mercury is making. So yeah, pay attention to those random thoughts. They could be little clues. As I said that, I looked up at the timestamp on this recording and a prominent number for me came through. I'll just say I have been, when we talk about the moon's transits, if you're feeling on edge, you'll understand why. I have definitely been feeling that this morning and feeling a lot of doubt and just like kind of negativity, to be honest with you. And then, of course, this is totally like Mercury's influence with Neptune in the North Node, like sending you just a little signal like, no, you're on the right path. No need to freak out. So anyway, just leave that there. But yeah, any downloads that come through are pushing us towards our purpose. And we are using the end of this week before Mercury moves into Aries. It's making these last couple of connections, a new connection literally every day until it moves into Aries. So it's, it's at 24 degrees, at 30 degrees, it moves into a new sign. So, or 0 degrees, obviously. So yeah, I would say while Mercury is in Pisces, the end of this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, really just like sit with anything that's coming through. This could be a great time for meditation or a spiritual practice. This is really the time to allow the messages to come through and not try to do anything with them or make sense of them or, act on them. Like this is the time to brainstorm and dream and just allow yourself to sit with whatever communication is coming through. Now, this could be coming through your own mind. This could be coming from another person. This would be a great time to do some creative writing. Just like allow the dreamy part of your mind to flow out onto a page, or like reading poetry could really spark some inspiration. Leaning into creative and artistic communication these last couple days of Mercury and Pisces could help those downloads flow through. And so just like take note of anything that sparks something in you, that is like, oh, that felt interesting, and then sit with it. And insight can really be found in that stillness, in meditation, in that creativity. So be intentional about how you're using your rational mind today, and not necessarily using it for productivity, but more for dreaminess, for spirituality. All right. Good morning, Bailey. Great to see you here. Now let's talk about the moon. Can you tell I've been kind of putting off what's going on with the moon? So the moon is still in Sagittarius. We're in the waning phase, the releasing phase. Friday, tomorrow, will be the final quarter moon, the last quarter moon in Capricorn. That's the peak releasing phase of the moon. But still, we're making the last couple connections with the moon in Sagittarius. You can see her over here. She's at 26 degrees right now. So when the moon is in Sagittarius, we are usually more spontaneous, more optimistic, but we can also be a little bit overindulgent or reckless. And what kept coming through as I was writing about the moon was check yourself before you wreck yourself. The moon in Sagittarius made some really awesome connections yesterday that helped us feel really good, have a lot of energy. We were getting support from Mars and Venus. We're motivated, we're affectionate. Today, the Sagittarius moon is forming really harsh angles to multiple planets. So at 4 a.m., the moon in Sag squared off to Neptune in Pisces. We have a ton of planets in Pisces right now, and Sagittarius and Pisces clash with one another. They're both mutable signs. They both like to kind of just like go with the flow and adapt to the energy. But when they come together, it's like, where's the direction we're going? There's not a lot of like authority there. So if there's a message that's been trying to come through in your dreams this week, you might have noticed overnight last night that it was like, hello, listen up. Sorry if that was super loud, but dreams could have been especially intense last night when the moon was forming this 90-degree angle to Neptune. This was at 4 a.m. So if you were still asleep at 4 a.m., you might have had some really vivid dreams, or some dreams that left you feeling like anxious or even a little bit confused. Or if you were just waking up super early this morning, maybe you live on the East Coast as well, this is the time you were starting to get out of bed. It could have felt like you were starting the day in a little bit of a fog and a little bit of a cloud. So it could have felt like a sleepy start to the day, or just kind of like a lethargic start to the day, or like your brain was still in a sleep state, even though your body is trying to get up and start going and start moving. But I'm really curious if you guys have been having crazy dreams too, because one of my friends messaged a group chat and was saying she had such a vivid dream a few nights ago, and she literally woke up like feeling panic. And I was like, I've had crazy dreams all week too. And other women were saying like, yeah, us too. So Anyway, you're not alone if you've been having crazy dreams. At 5 a.m., the moon squared off to Mercury. So just after that square to Neptune, because of course Mercury and Neptune are very close to one another, the moon squared off to Mercury. So again, messages could have been really pushing, trying to come through, almost like blindsiding you in your dreams, in your sleep. Or you could have woken up in a little bit of like a irritable mood. Really, to start the day, even right now, we're going to want to be especially intentional about our words, about our thoughts, about the stories we're telling ourselves. Misunderstandings are definitely possible when the moon squares off to Mercury. Our emotions and our rational mind are clashing with one another. So the Sagittarius moon wants us to feel good. It's optimistic, it's abundant, but Mercury and Pisces is like confused, maybe doubtful, just kind of like, what's happening? It's not clear at all. And that can cause some anxiety or some tension or some confusion. So if you're feeling that right now, I'm right there with you. And just try to be really mindful about your own thoughts and your own words. And also acknowledge that everybody's feeling this same energy. So other people's words might be a little harsh as well, or might not be coming across in the most effective way. Again, Mercury in Pisces is in one of its weakest positions. So our ability to articulate is definitely not in the best place. We're not saying things or communicating as effectively as we probably could. So just give other people the benefit of the doubt. Give yourself a little bit of grace, a little bit of a break. Now, here's this is a double-edged sword part of the forecast. So we have a void moon right now until 3 p.m. When the moon is void, it's making its last transit, its last trek, if you will, through the end of a sign before it enters a new sign, and it's not making any more connections in that time. So the moon is kind of in like a lull right now. Really asking ourselves to slow down, get some rest. Really, this isn't the time to start something new, but rather tie up loose ends, maybe resolve any conflict, resolve anything that's bringing you dis-ease or discomfort. This is kind of the time to just like allow the dust to settle and give yourself a little bit of a break if your schedule calls for it. If you don't have anything on the schedule until 3 p.m. today, keep the schedule clear. Just chill out if possible. Then the moon moves into Capricorn at 3 p.m., coming into that last quarter phase, the peak releasing phase. And the moon is in its weakest position in Capricorn. The moon does not like to be in Capricorn. It's at home in Cancer, the opposite sign to Capricorn. And so just for example, when the moon is in Cancer, we're like super connected to our intuition and super emotional and very much in that moon energy. When the moon is in Capricorn, we're like detached. We're like, Capricorn gets the nickname the Ice Queen. Like we're cold emotionally. We are not very nurturing. We're just very serious and practical. We're not quite as emotionally aware either. So, I would say just watch yourself. We don't want to be too harsh. Even when the moon moves into Capricorn, it's going to make another tense connection, and I'll explain that in just a moment. But just talking about the Capricorn energy of the moon, I will say even though it's in its weakest position in Capricorn, because this is the moon's peak releasing phase, asking us to let go, Capricorn energy can actually be helpful for that because we can detach more easily. We can practically be like, yeah, this emotion, this thing, not serving us anymore. Peace out. Bye. Like Capricorns will like cut you off and not feel anything, so that can be actually helpful with the releasing phase of the moon. And our focus is on our long-term goals when the moon is in Capricorn. We're really emotionally aligned with the big picture and the long-term goals, which is much more of a practical energy, right? So we can easily discern, like, if there's something that's holding us back from where we want to be in the next year, 5 years, 10 years, we're like, nope, cut it off. Cut it out, so that can be helpful actually in this releasing phase as we're heading towards the new moon in Aries next Thursday. If it feels like you're still in this like releasing, letting go of the end of the last astrological year, or kind of still in that Pisces closure healing energy, even though it's Aries season now, I feel like the new moon in Aries is really going to be like, okay, now's the fresh start. Now the slate is really clean. You thought it was a clean slate when Aries season started. No, you still had some bullshit to shed and go through. So, tomorrow, the last quarter moon, is the time to really let go, release, shed anything that's holding you back. But I will say with the moon in Capricorn in this weak position, we are more prone to worrying and we are more focused on our limits and boundaries. So beware of lingering too much on your limits. We can be kind of cold and harsh when the moon is in Capricorn. So you don't want to be like, yeah, this thing is limiting me. Bye. You know what I mean? You want to be mindful still about what's serving you. Maybe not too critical or harsh on yourself either. We can be focused on oh, well, I couldn't do that because of XYZ, or this bad thing could happen if I allowed myself to just flow, or if I allowed myself to lean into this dreamy idea that's coming through, or whatever it may be for you. Those are just examples, but just be careful not to linger too much on the limiting part of your mind or your emotions too. Our emotions can sometimes be the things that are ooh, that's scary, we don't want to do it, we're not capable of doing it, all these bad things could happen, let's protect our heart. It's a very protective energy when the moon is in Capricorn. So we want to be mindful not to just cut things off because they're uncomfortable, but really because they're no longer serving us or truly holding us back from where we want to go. And that takes some discernment. So again, trust divine timing and take your time. The moon allows us to slow down when it's in Capricorn. So really asking us to take our time, assess the situation, and don't just cut someone off in cold blood, really think things through before you release. And the Capricorn energy will help us do that. But like I said, the moon does form yet another square today to the sun. This is at 10 p.m. when it moves into Capricorn. So this could bring restlessness or anxiety. The moon is our internal self. The sun is our external self. So there's this clash between internally this kind of more serious energy and externally with the sun in Aries, this want to go and do and be. So you can see how that could create some tension or anxiety. Again, the Capricorn moon just asks us to slow down, pace yourself, honor your emotions, really take the time to work through things rather than just, I don't know. It's funny that Capricorns are known for being slow, but I think emotionally sometimes they can be very yes or no, just black or white, shut it down, So the Aries sun wants us to speed up, but the Capricorn moon wants to slow down. So we'll definitely be feeling that tension tonight. And really, all of these transits we're talking about with the moon are squares, are the most tense, uncomfortable angle the moon can make. So, or any planet can make, really. So all day today, we're experiencing tension, maybe anxiety, maybe confusion, just maybe conflict as well. When it comes to the moon's transits today, it's not the most comfortable day, and it could feel like you are on edge all day. I wish I had something better, like a silver lining to say. Just know that whatever is coming up for you, Mercury is still forming this sextile to the North Node. So everything is, nothing happens by accident. All of these transits are here to show us something or teach us something. And tension or anxiety could actually be kind of a clue of what we need to release. It could be showing us this thing we're holding on to that's causing us discomfort. So just keep that in mind. Becca says, intense dreams lately, or insane dreams lately. Yeah, same. And it's interesting too, because, of course, being a Mercury ruled person, I'm trying to make sense of my dreams, looking up dream meanings. And some of the ones I had last night, I was okay, this makes sense. I'm feeling this in my waking life. It makes sense that it's coming through in my dreams. But other parts of my dreams, I'm why? What is this about? So maybe it'll be a little clearer in the next couple days. Very on point for you right now. Had to remind yourself all morning to get your thoughts happy and get rid of tension. I am right there with you, Becca. Oh my gosh, you pulled the words right out of my mouth. I was putting on happy music this morning. I was just trying to feel good, trying to connect with my partner, playing with my dogs a little bit, and still I was just grumpy and just not feeling great. So if you're there too, I'm right there with you, sister. Okay, let's do a little overview of what's going on today, and then we will pull a card. So today, Mercury is pulling away from a conjunction to Neptune, still clouding our rational mind, but also allowing downloads or insights to come through, although we're still not really able to make sense of them. So this is really a time to sit with any messages that are coming through and allow them to settle before acting on them. However, Mercury today is getting support from the North Node. So whatever information is coming in is actually pushing us here to help us move towards the direction we're supposed to be heading. Now, the moon is making really intense connections all day. So if you feel like you're on edge today, that is right on par for the course. The moon squares off to Neptune and Mercury first thing in the morning, making us wake up maybe a little bit confused, or, we might not be the most effective with our words. This could cause miscommunication, even conflict. And then the moon goes void in the middle of the day, giving us this nice period of respite and downtime. If you can take it, I would certainly suggest it. The moon moves into Capricorn at 3 p.m. Pacific time, and then tonight squares off to the sun. So the moon is in its weakest position in Capricorn. It does not like to be here. It makes us very emotionally distant and disconnected from our intuition. Now, the moon is coming into its peak releasing phase, so we are able to slow down, discern what we need to release, and cut it off more easily. However, we're going to feel a little bit of tension first as the moon squares off to the sun, bringing up worries, doubts, anxiety, kind of bringing this conflict between wanting to be slow internally but fast externally. So if you're feeling that tension today, I think I've said this 1,000 times during this live stream already, but if you're feeling the tension today, you are in alignment with the universe. Remember, everything is here to show us what we need to see. Everything is here to teach us a lesson, and pay attention to whatever tension is coming up around or wherever you're feeling unease. It could be a signal or a clue as to what you need to release before the new moon in Aries next week. Okay? So today, because I'm feeling a little spicy, feeling a little edgy, someone sent me a deck of cards. And just because they're trying to get them out there, and they're really interesting. They're called the Irreverent Inspiration Deck, and she just found me through Instagram. You can find them as well, I believe, on Instagram. I'll put a link in the chat or in the comments below after this of where you can buy these. And they are definitely the most interesting deck I have ever seen. It says a 54-card deck and guidebook of or for what we haven't exactly decided yet. So, I mean, pretty on point with everything we've been talking about today. And as you'll find, they are very interesting. They have like 1 to 2 words on them that are just like, this is like the definition of Mercury and Pisces conjunct Neptune. It's like, what the hell is coming through? You'll see. But you know what? I just realized I haven't saged this deck yet. And I want to do that really quick. So, not ideal to use a lighter, but we're going to do it anyway. Just give it a quick sage, just to clear the energy. We'll see if the sage wants to light. There we go. Maybe we could just use this moment to sage ourselves too. If you're feeling tension, take a deep breath with me. This is for you too. This is for you on Instagram. And let's go ahead and clear this deck. So whatever message comes through, although it might be funky when you see the descriptions, all the cards on this deck. Whoop. Oh, Lord. We've got ashes going everywhere. Okay, well, I'm not going to say this was a fail, but it was not necessarily a success. Ooh, God. You guys, I'm burning holes in my pants. What is happening today? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna start a fire in my house. Okay. Crisis averted. This is like the most bizarre live stream I've done so far. Okay, and only going to get more bizarre when we pull from this deck. But I love how many of you are just here sticking with me in this little craziness. Okay, so let's pull from this deck. Now that it's saged, now that I have a new hole in my pants and potentially my rug, let's see what message the universe wants to come through. I will say these cards are extremely slippery, I've noticed. Whoa! Did you hear that? Everything is flying. Everything is crazy. All right. We're going to slow down. We're just going to slow down for a second. Okay. Okay. This message is coming through strong. You guys, these cards. This is the card that came through. Be a bigger slut. That's what it says. So when I say these are like really weird out there cards, I'm not kidding. So not sure what that means, but be a bigger slut. That's the message it wants to come through. Also, this one's still on the floor. Spaceships is all it says. Spaceships. That's it. It's funny because we were just talking about aliens right before I went live. But today could feel like you're just on a spaceship and you have no idea where you're going or what's happening. So we'll pull one more because, like I said, they're just like one or two little words. They might not make a whole lot of sense, but I felt like it was very on par for the day. And like Court said, this is literally the vibe of the day in action. Yeah, me like randomly burning myself, the cards flying everywhere. Yes, we do have a guidebook. Thank you for reminding me. So, I'm going to pull one more and then we're going to read the description of each of them in the guidebook because I just feel like we might need a little bit more guidance with this one. Okay, let's be really intentional about this last card. What do we need to know? Okay, I like this a little better. I always love a positive card. It says, keep it lifted. Love that. Okay, so let's go in order with what was happening with these cards. We'll start with be a bigger slut. Also, I'm such a Virgo, you guys. I'm like, no, be a bigger slut. How dare the card tell me to do that? Okay, it's one of the first cards actually in the deck. Be a bigger slut. Receive from everything. Just don't take everything to bed. Have you ever noticed how good an orgasm feels? Why keep it to the bedroom? Let yourself have that turn on with everything in your life. Okay. Let the flowers tickle your fancy. Let the laughter of children ignite a fire in your heart. Let the soft caress of the spring breeze make you wild. How much are you turning off your sexualness to keep it limited between the thighs? Take it to the kitchen. See what delight you can create. Take it to the park. Take it to the dance floor. Live it out loud. Hashtag slut for life. I love this now that I read one of the descriptions, actually. At first, when I got these cards, I was like, okay, how am I going to actually use these on my live stream? But I'm kind of obsessed with this deck now. Again, it's called the Irreverent Inspiration. And I think this card is like reminding us to lean into that Pisces energy, like dream a little bit, let yourself have fun with life. The moon is still in Sag for a couple more hours too. So be a slut for life. Okay. The second card that wanted to hang out on the floor was spaceships. What does this say? How much have you tried to fit into someone else's definition of relationship? What works for you? There is someone out there who will naturally fit. Do something different. You are an ET anyway. Own it. Stop trying to drive your relationships and jump into your creationship. What do you have to lose? If you think you will lose them, you have already lost. Set yourself free. Be space. Then the hashtags on this one are no nuclear family and hashtag uncomfortable is sexy. Okay, well, we're just going to run with that hashtag uncomfortable is sexy. This is a really, I love this message coming through. First of all, spaceships, again, very Pisces energy, but also how much have you tried to fit into someone else's definition of a relationship? This card is just like really reminding us that whatever is coming through is unique to us. Whatever we're feeling is unique to us. Society trying to tell us what we should be doing, how we should be acting is not helpful for us to process our own emotions or go through our experience of life. And uncomfortable is sexy. Today could definitely feel uncomfortable, but like we've been talking about, whatever discomfort is coming up is here to show you or point to an area that maybe we need to loosen the grip or release. And then the last card I pulled is Keep It Lifted. Where is this? I think it's supposed to be in, here we go. It is in alphabetical order. Okay. Keep it lifted. Every day, find something that lifts you up. Check your addictions. Hint, drama queen. Do you know that rainbows and sparkles and expansion are always there? Keep choosing the shiny things and life gets easier. Oh, but wait, that's too easy. Then you might get bored. Be unhappy, just like everyone else, you know? That sounds great. Hint, sarcasm. You feel me? What? Hashtag every day happy. Hashtag the sun is always shining. This deck is so wild, but I really am loving it. So I think it's funny that all of these cards really had a similar theme, like love life, be open to loving life, carve out your own path, do your own thing, spaceships, be your extra weird alien self, keep it lifted, find the things that bring you joy, especially if you're experiencing tension sometimes, just like going out and sitting in the sun, appreciating life can give you some temporary, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a break from any tension you're feeling. So anyway, these are fun cards. Let me know if I should pull from them more. I was a little, like I said, nervous, but now that I read the guidebook, thank you, Court, for reminding me about the guidebook. I like them a lot. So again, one more time, they're called Irreverent Inspiration, and you can find them. They have, one of them is Clean Your Effing Bathroom too. Love that. Let me put the link right here if you enjoy them. She just sent them to me for free because she's just trying to get them out there, and I support that. Love it. So that's where you can find those cards. This word, what is it called? They came up with this like funky word, but I can't remember how to say it. Fuckhunting. It's like a new movement. So anyway. Okay, good. They're too funny. A fun addition. Love it. I felt like today was definitely the day to bring them out. We have this weird, tense day where things aren't making sense. We're having weird dreams, and like this seems like the vibe for sure. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed them. Yay. Okay, so that's today's forecast. It's a little bit of a tense one, a little bit of a weird one, but that's the energy of today. Tomorrow we'll be talking through the weekend. What's Mercury doing tomorrow? We're still talking about Mercury Friday and Saturday. So again, we'll talk through every day of the weekend. Mercury and Pisces, you guys. My brain. Mercury squares off to Lilith tomorrow, so we're definitely going to watch our words, then forms a sextile to Pluto on Saturday. So we're changing, we're transforming these thoughts. We'll talk more about it tomorrow, but tune in to get the weekend forecast. We'll also be talking about the final quarter moon. The moon's in Capricorn, then Aquarius through the weekend. So we'll be aligning with that energy. And then later today, I'm going to be launching some new merch, some new astrology themed merch at thespiritualjournalist.com/shop. So it's not up just yet. I wanted to have it up by this live stream, but we're giving ourselves grace. We're trying to flow. We're not forcing things. So look for that soon. Follow on Instagram too. You can shop through my Instagram, and I'll make an announcement when the new merch goes live. So I'm super excited, trying to roll out some fresh things, some fun new things for you in Aries season, and I appreciate you all being here along for the journey. So if this video was helpful for you, even though it was like literally so freaking weird today, you guys, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so we can monetize this channel. Keep these videos coming to you every morning for free. And one more time, our affirmation of the day: I trust divine timing. I trust divine timing. Don't have to have it all figured out today, and you probably aren't going to figure it all out today. So just trust in whatever is coming through for you. Sit with it and know that everything is happening for you in divine timing. Sending love to you, Cass. All right, everybody, have a beautiful Thursday. I will see you right back here tomorrow morning. But until then, stay curious. Thank you so much for joining us and aligning with the energy of the universe today. If you enjoyed this morning's episode of Transits Today, you can join our live astrology discussion every weekday morning right here wherever you're watching. And head to thespiritualjournalist.com to read your daily astrology forecast and browse the Spiritual Shop. The most fun way to help keep these forecasts free and support more content like this is to buy yourself a little something on our website. But if you're feeling extra generous, you can also buy me a coffee to fuel future live streams. Just tap the link in the description or head to buymeacoffee.com and search The Spiritual Journalist. And speaking of, you can also tune in to The Spiritual Journalist, our weekly live interview where we ask our guests questions about everything from crystals and manifestation to mental health and the environment. Those conversations stream live right here wherever you're watching now every Tuesday. I'm so grateful you found us here, and I can't wait for our next conversation.